Good morning, everyone. Hi. Hello. I know I can understand why you're not hopping up this morning, because yesterday Marty swatted at you. Come on, Tux. Oh, there's Morris. Hi, Morris. Oh, I just can't get everybody to... Come on, Tux. Come on. He's thinking about it. Come on, Tux. Come on, Tux. I'll probably have to lift him. I like what you do, Stripe. You just go to your spot most mornings and you wait. Not that you haven't already eaten inside. There's Tux, too. I'll assist Tux to his spot. Hang on, bud. Tux, come here, honey. Morris, can I slide the bowls over? Come here, Tux. Marty, it would be helpful if you could go eat with Stripe. There. Plus you ate inside and Tux hasn't had anything yet. I'm not being mean to you. Just go to one of the other spots, okay? Yeah, I mean, everything is more or less okay out here except for Tux and Stripe trying to eat from the same bowl. Okay. I haven't seen any chickens this morning, and I also didn't see any in the yard at all yesterday, so maybe he was able to catch them. Maybe he had people from the church come and help with that. I miss them 5% because you know how I love critters to love me, but it's for the best if they're back up there. We'll stop damaging things in my yard and stop, you know, coming in the cat's territory, and it's for the better. I'm just taking a walk around the house. I asked Stripe if he wanted to come. There's not a lot of sun out here today. I don't know what the temperature is. It's supposed to be in the 50s. It's probably only in the 40s right now. It's a little chilly if you ask me. We're going to historic Oakwood today to tour some Victorian homes. It's a holiday house tour, and we'll be doing quite a bit of walking downtown, so we're not specifically going for a walk this morning. I guess I'm going to leave these poles and the yarn up, but in the spring, before they really start, the canna lilies really start doing their thing, we'll come out here and reinforce. Besides, I did take at least 1 or 2 poles here down, because we're going to need to reinforce them next year too. And yeah, well, that took a little weight off of it. That string, you know, it's just yarn. It's not going to last more than a year anyway. Everything's looking good. I'm considering looking out at the window. Anybody has any opinions on it, let me know. Of topping this guy off at the bushy 4-foot level, but all the parts that are higher, you know, taking them away. So in other words, coming here and snip, snip, snip the higher pieces. Of course, it's forming the berries right now, so that would get rid of them, and the birds do like those. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I guess I wouldn't do it now, but I'm considering trimming the mahonia back a bit. It's kind of gangly, and it blocks a little bit of the view of the bridge, and it seems like it'll come over in an ice storm or wind with it being that top heavy, and then it'll damage the roots, which are good right now. So, I mean, there's valid reasons. Oh, and that reminds me, you know, here's my one, can we see it here? Here's my one floodlight, but this one in here, I figured is covered by leaves and not really visible at night. So I wanted to come out and uncover it a little bit. Here we go. There's one that way somewhere too. I suppose I should check on it also. See if I can figure it out. I love these floodlights, I really do. But a different, yeah, this one's fine. But that one over there, you couldn't really see it. I don't think I'm missing another one, but I'll look out the window tonight. Is there one in here somewhere that's covered too? That seems a little far away, because the other one is down there at the base of the Mahonia. So I guess that's about the right distance. It's like 10, 12 feet apart. They're spaced out. And there's two sets, the one that goes around the border and then the one that just mostly points up at the tree. And oh, Stripe. Definitely do not want him up there. Stripey, come on back down. You're going to damage something and then you're going to be in trouble. Yeah. Okay, so there's one here too. Yeah, I think it was just the one that was covered, but I'll look tonight to see if one looks like it's buried. There's got to be another one. I know you guys are really interested in this, but when you're you know, lights get buried, you got to uncover them. Okay, I found it. Yeah, I thought they were seeming a little too far apart. It was definitely 100% covered by the leaves, so different times of the year you get more, I think, enjoyment out of the lights when they are when there's leaves on the trees than the sticks. It just depends. They're permanently installed over here, and I'm getting enough enjoyment out of them that I don't feel the need to move them around. I do see the one down here on the end, and it's not covered, so that's good. It's very hard to see things in amongst the leaves. Now, Stripe took off somewhere. I was just trying to get him some exercise and some mama time. Stripey! So I was over here blowing, and we had two drift roses. You know, there was 3 canna lilies. I'm having a really hard time with the camera today. 3 canna lilies. 1, 2, 3. And there were 2 drift roses. And there's one. But I think the other one was right here. And I think it's gone. Maybe when Helene came through and we had all that really high water. So I have another rose to put down here, but I think the one that Dawn planted for me, I just don't see any signs of it at all. Not the bricks, and I just really can't go down. We'll figure it out in the spring. But I think the one rose drifted. I think it drifted. I think it's gone. So instead of getting a third one, I've got one to replace the one that went bye-bye. Kind of hard to believe the bricks, the rose, and everything are gone, though. So maybe it's just buried. You know, you would think if I don't know. But we need to figure that out at some point. Dawn installed the one floodlight that I got at Guardian Angel over here pointing at this tree. It just changes colors. It doesn't do a sparkly pattern. I need to come out and check it out at night. I didn't do that yesterday. I'll show you the wreath. Hey, Morris. I'll show you the wreath I brought home yesterday. It's mounted on Johnny's window on the front porch. I'm fixing to go out there and do the front porch thing. But I've had a little exercise walking around the house now, just a bit. Hi! I'm sure everyone loves to hear you talk. So the thing we're going to today, no inside photos, which I get, I guess, even though it's not a group tour and you just sort of walk through at your own pace, entry and exit allowed by the docent, the volunteer. But I can take pictures outside, so I'm sure I'll get something worthwhile. Oops, the suction cup didn't stay. Usually I like to put a little water on it. That seems to help. Might just have to switch to a nail in that location. No visitor this morning. Heating pads are on. And there's Morris down there enjoying some sunshine. Hi, buddy. Good morning, Gray. Here you go. Hi. How's my sweetheart? Sweetheart doing good. Good girl. Can't expect a man to tour Victorian houses for 3 hours walking around outside in the cold and not have a breakfast. So 6 pieces of bacon, baby. I just dropped Johnny off at Buffalo Lane's bowling alley to spend some time with friends. And the house tour was from any time between 1 and 7 today, and to a lot about 3 hours to take it. So we'll miss the rush of people that all decided they should start the tour at the very earliest possible time today. I think we're in good timing. We found the Tucker house where we're supposed to check in. We've street parked. There's a decent hike back to the Tucker house. We have to scan our QR code there before we can start the tour. It's pretty nice right now, so we didn't bring our jackets, but we'll be back walking around over here like these people are on the tour past the dinosaur, what's affectionately known as the dinosaur house. That house is actually, I believe, on the tour. Always been curious about it, so anyway, right now we've, could it be 10 degrees warmer? Sure. But on the other hand, we've got good weather, great weather for December. I got to turn on my watch, my walking. Don has turned his on and I have forgotten. Like I said this morning, I've always wanted to spend some time over here. I mean, after dropping Johnny off at school, I have driven through here frequently to enjoy the houses, but it's different being on foot, and then it's certainly different getting to go inside some of them.
Let's see, a map key. AE is straight ahead, BD is to the right, and F and K are to the left.
Historic Oakwood Candlelight tour.
Are we going to get candles?
I don't know if we stay out here walking long enough. Johnny did his best to have his outing with friends end around the time we would be done. So we'll make it work. It'll work out. There is no ending of the amount of lights I would want to see in downtown Raleigh, like over on Fayetteville Street, etc. We drove past the Capital City tree. We're checked in.
Yep.
Don and I have enjoyed an oatmeal honey cookie. It was a pretty fancy cookie.
Yeah.
This is our ticket to show at the entrance to the houses. There are 10 houses.
Yep.
It's going to kill me that I'm not allowed to do any photography inside, but outside is allowed, so there's that. And I guess we're off.
Yeah.
Which one did we say? E? E is the house I'm going to care the most about. E and F are, kitten houses.
Yeah, I don't remember which one was the gold mine, but both of them were kitten houses.
Yeah, one of them looks like one of my Lego houses that I want to go live in. Yeah. We're headed to House E first on 407 North Blount Street. Blount Street, Andrews Duncan House circa 1874. It's the one that's all by itself, and there's supposed to be a Ford Model A and a few other vintage cars out front or on the property. This beautiful Wedgwood colored house is a law firm today. I love it. This house is where the North Carolina State Ethics Commission is located. Don says he likes this one better than the blue one. I still like the blue one better. But North Carolina's big heritage for bricks. So the fact that this one is masonry is kind of special.
I wonder about the portico here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about it?
Well, it's not out.
yellow brick is the house. It is made out of the same thing the foundation is made out of. The molding, it looks the same, and it does have a slate roof. I mean, I'm sure it's been there since the earliest days, but I don't think it was built with the house. I think if it was built with the house, it would have be built out of the yellow brick.
One of the things you learn about after you visit a lot of these older homes is that they had a lot, just like we renovate houses today and add on garages and do all that stuff, they did it with old houses too.
Yeah. Well, that, and also I would say, obviously, the front porch here, this whole, it's possible the entire porch is new.
Sure. So this house on the state historic or Raleigh historic property thing here, it says 1898. And this is a business, so that's closed because it's Sunday.
Right.
Have to wonder, since that one's owned by the state, why we don't get to go inside of it. We have this nice black Model X in the background here too. This is the Cape Hart Crocker House. Like I said, 1898. Don says he wants to go read up on this one. NCOSH Review Commission is in this house. Hey, look, I don't care what they do with them as long as they maintain them and they preserve them. So if we use it for state offices, I'm good with that. Notice these are all Sasanqua camellias around the front of the house. Yeah, I'm not super happy to see them manicured this much, but I am happy to see the pretty camellias. And they've got nice ones on both sides. And we have another view of this house from a different angle with that beautiful blue sky. That looks magnificent. These are Japonica camellias. Totally different animal, and they'll bloom at a different time, which is nice because then they have blooming things in front of the house more time out of the year. Uh-oh, there's a wait to go inside.
Well, because it is the first house.
Or everybody thought like we did, let's go to the one that's out in the open by itself, and then we'll go do the other houses.
That's correct. I think that's exactly what's going on.
Well, somehow, Donnie, this one is E.
Yes, this E. That's what it's supposed to be.
Okay. I got turned around then.
Let's cheat.
Yeah, well, there's nobody coming. I restrained myself from taking pictures even though other people were taking them anyway, because we were asked not to, and someone is living in this home and it is their private space. And
That's right.
But it was hard, let me tell you, because they weren't calling them out on it. A lot of people were taking
Yes.
pictures.
5 kids of, I guess, a husband and five kids.
Yeah. Family, yeah.
Family.
Husband, wife, 5 kids. Very modern inside.
Yes.
Totally restored. The floors, the mantles, and a lot of the decorative molding and such is original, and there's a lot of modern things mixed in with it too.
Yeah, they kept in the front part of the house that was a little bit more original, but then the part you live in,
Yeah.
it's very modern.
So we got first floor and the basement tour. The basement is all game room stuff.
in a big gym.
Yeah, and a big gym. Basically the man cave and the kid play area. Yeah, yeah.
There's no sewing room.
Yeah. The closet for him and her was about as big as our house.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was jealous. I was oohing and ahhing over the kitchen counter area in the formal kitchen, because if I had all that counter for my Lego stuff, I would be really happy.
I guess it would be called a butler's pantry, which
Right.
had everything but a stove.
It had a mini stove.
Oh, it had a mini.
They basically had a extra large built-in toaster oven.
Okay.
It would have made
I
a
was
pizza
thinking, yeah.
or heated up my casserole I made last night. You wouldn't have cooked a turkey in it, but basically short of a big turkey, it was okay.
Yep.
It was impressive. The lady said this house was briefly in the 80s and 90s into 2000s a state office building.
It said it was a whisker away from being destroyed.
Demolished.
And the couple who bought it and restored it
Yep.
saved it from the literally.
Being demolished.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2-year restoration effort, and you could certainly it looked great. May not have been exactly what I would have picked, but it all fit together very nicely, and it was very pretty.
I think it was a good compromise between keeping what was historic and being able to live comfortably in it.
Sure. We don't get to go in this one. Such a shame.
Same architect.
Same architect, that's true. Yeah, but this one has more stuff. This one has more on the outside. This is NC Realtors. I believe this one was restored within the last 5 years. It was a big deal when the Realtors bought this one. It made news. This one has been recently restored, and I believe they do rent it. A lot of these, to make money to keep them going, they rent them out for weddings and wedding receptions and the like. Wow, the house, and wow, the tree. I mean, this one is pretty. Has a lot of character also, but this one for me, if I got to choose. You can see just beneath the flower window, the round window, that there is a stairwell there that takes you all the way up to the top, and it looks like it's open for viewing the sky because I can see the sky through the spindles on the stair handrail. So I think you actually get a view of the sky up there. Just amazing. I want to see what that window looks like. I do. This is the governor's mansion, which we have toured at least 3 times before.
Twice or 3 times.
Yeah, it is fun to do, and it's free. It was last weekend. We'll come again, but it's not something that changes enough from year to year that you necessarily need to do it every year.
Yeah, well, we'll see what the new governor does. The Coopers, we've seen it. Cooper's been in office.
Yes, yeah.
And so next year will be Stein.
Yeah, that's right. The first lady could have differing tastes.
Have a little bit of the parts of the house the first lady can make modification to. She may make it different.
Yeah, the sunroom and the downstairs library for sure. I'm a fan of Governor Cooper. He and his family maintain a First Pets of North Carolina page, and he adopted a cat that was a little kitten hanging out in the garage within a few months of taking office, and there have been several other downtown Raleigh rescues that the family has either kept or obviously helped adopt out. I'm sure he had no problems finding adopters, so he's an animal person and I like it. Also, when you watch him, you can see how much he loves and cares for his wife in all of his dealings. It's definitely not pretend with him, and I appreciate that about him also. You can see the museum complex behind us, specifically the fancy glass roof there is part of the Natural Sciences Museum. That's in the newer part of the Natural Sciences complex. It's the newer building, not the older building. All the museums in downtown are free. They're free whether you're a citizen or not a citizen. And I have spent many a weekend with the kids in those museums. The History Museum's actually closed right now because they're renovating it, but I'm sure it will open bigger than better soon. Well, Johnny's school, St. Augustine's, is farther than I would want to have to walk from here right now, but is basically that way. I don't know, a mile maybe, probably not quite a mile. Actually, Wake County is no longer going to have the early college at St. Augustine's. They've had so much financial accrediting problems. They are going to be at Shaw University, which is the school with the mural with me going out of town every afternoon. They're going to be at that school instead, I believe, at the start of the 25-26 school year. We're almost to what I'm going to consider my favorite house on the tour, I'm sure, of the ones that were allowed to go in. I just saw a towhee, which I never see at our house, on this tree for the birds, which I think is awesome, and there's St. Francis for the animals. I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, there's your hydrangea over there.
Yeah. Yeah, Dawn saying the hydrangea. Yep. Well, it was very nice. I enjoyed that. And here's a pin oak that hasn't lost all its leaves yet. Okay, Donnie, this one works for me too.
Of course. It's beautiful.
Yep, it is. And this is, I can't remember the name of it, but this is the plant out in our mailbox. That was, yeah.
That big, holy crap.
Well, this has probably been here 30 or 40 years. I mean, look at the tree next to it.
Yeah, this tree's been here a while.
As long as it's been out at the street, and plus the deer came and ate it that one time, it's really not, it's not on a super growth track. Although this is privet, can we just pull it down and plant something else? Well, it's, yeah, it does provide privacy, but so the line to get into this house is pretty long, but oh, is it gorgeous. I'm on the back side of that beautiful house now. It took us a while to get inside because it's so popular. Vintage Christmas everything in there, just vintage Christmas everything. It was like taking a trip to my grandmother's house. It was glorious. The gingerbread men are leading us back to the front porch so we can exit. Wow, what a house. Cut out, painted, and made all of the wood cut-ups in the yard. They did a great job. Yeah, I'll take any of the 3 houses on this corner here. The green one, the one we were just in, or this one. Very nice. Any of those will work for me, Donnie.
I don't want any part of the maintenance. None.
But when you have that house, you have somebody else handle the maintenance.
So this is the Heck Win house.
Oh, well, the one we just came from was Heck something also.
Yeah, I agree that. Well, he said Heck was a developer.
Okay.
The original person, Heck, was a developer.
Okay.
That's right. 1872. So this one, I think, is a little older than that other one.
Wow, but look at it, Donnie. I mean, just look at it. Well, the tour is making me miss my grandmother. I told Dawn all I ever wanted was for her to leave her whole house to me and all of the contents in it. I would still be living in New Jersey in that house, absolutely no doubt.
Well, that house looks like a fortress.
Yep, all that North Carolina brick. Yeah, gingerbread over here, Donnie. Lollipops. Lollipop. So this house is the Gables. It says it was formerly a boarding house. We were noticing this fountain in the front yard. I told Dawn there's a bucket underneath it, a basin, and it cascades over the top and then it pumps it back through and out. I would like to have one of those, but I want a different color pottery. Dawn's figuring out our next house. We're listening to carolers. I'm enjoying the upper and lower tree over here. That house was, you know, very nicely done inside too. Was very dark though, very, very dark. You know me, I drive a red car. I have on a lime green sweater today, so dark in me. Yeah, we don't really fit together very well. Look at that. Wow. I'm just in my element. I just don't know how else to describe it. You know, my grandma Jenny, she raised me to appreciate all this stuff, and I greatly do appreciate it. It kind of skipped my mother, and then it landed back with me. They have an owl on their front porch in the tree. I love it. Trees must have birds or owls, or it's sort of a requirement. This is the latest Tesla.
This is the house you didn't want to see, but we're here, and there's no line.
Okay. Well, there's no line at the modern house because mostly people are angry about the modern house.
This is the one that
Cause lawsuits and fights, and really, you're going to make me go see the modern house? Okay.
absolutely. I want to see what all
The fuss is about?
all the fuss is about.
Yeah, well, I can totally understand why people in historic Oakwood don't want a modern house in their midst, why they fought against it. I personally can get it, but
They painted it different color than I
they did try to appease some of the neighbors a little bit. That's right.
It definitely doesn't.
So we're at Swain Street, and if we turn to the right, we're at Johnny's middle school, first 2 years of high school. St. Augustine's is still in that direction, but we've come down the hill now. Look at this nice snowman family. The most exciting thing about the modern house was that the youngest daughter builds Legos, and she has quite a few botanicals and some Harry Potter and the Statue of Liberty that I saw. And all the daughters, there's 3 of them, were showing their bedrooms. It's the only house in the tour that we've been allowed upstairs, and they were doing an excellent job as docents. Now, because the school is 2 or 3 stoplights this way, I've been on this road a lot. This is Swain Street. We're walking up Swain Street now. Don says not the first right. Oh, it's Mosley Lane. That house we were in, not the modern house, but the one before that was Mosley House. The car is watching us. We can see the sentry mode. And this is the house we're waiting to go in now. There's 3 up here. Boom, boom, boom. We're getting in line at the next house. That house was interesting. We had to put on covers over our shoes to protect the hardwood floor, which was no problem.
Yeah, well, it was original. I was, all the woodwork in there and all those windows and all those doors, they said were original, and I believe them.
Yeah.
But I guess my point is the floors were in like pristine shape. I mean, I realized they restored them, but I've been in houses that I guess I'm just saying is that those floors probably don't care if you walk on them or not.
Right. Well, I had a real oak floor at the house in Willow Springs, as you very well know, and we used the heck out of the floor, and
It didn't care.
as far as I know, the floor is still in the home and was just restored. You and I didn't restore the floor.
That's right.
Yeah. It had 1 water spot, but it was still in great shape. But if I had paid a lot of money to have my floor redone, I wouldn't want 2,000. I wouldn't want 2,000 people walking on it in one weekend either. So
From that point of view, but I will say that the overall floor is in great shape. That's pretty.
So is this one of the other houses on tour?
No, I don't think so.
They have the little pamphlet. I think it might be. I think they're going in at the front and coming out the back. We'll see. I did warm up inside the other house, so that was good because I was getting pretty cold since I still don't have my jacket. Well, this is the next home we're going to tour, and if you see the green light, you know what you see. What generation?
That's version 3.
Version 3. Tesla wall charger. Don spotted it, but I was socializing.
Right. Well, I would say that if we hadn't, it's getting dark, so the green really
Highlighted it.
Highlighted.
Yeah. So we had a really great tour in the Hanukkah house. Somebody in every room talking about Seder and Passover and other celebrations of the Jewish faith that I cannot pronounce properly, so I will try not to butcher them. And we just came out of this house as well. The Hanukkah house is actually a reproduction is not an original home. The home on that lot was raised due to it, you know, being in such disrepair, but they did a great job with the replica for the Hanukkah house. Yeah. Well, we are officially walking back to Jules now. We're parked on East Street.
This is the historic Gnomewood.
Historic Gnomewood. Says population 48. So I guess there's 48 gnomes. I like it. That's a great. That really is very cute. Well, the population of elves at my house is probably over 200 if I spring them all, but I'm not springing them all. It's been a few years since the elves visited. Yeah, it was either over and up or up and over, and we chose up and over so we could walk through these, past these two houses. The column. Wow. That's pretty cool. It looks like it's a net up, chicken wire up underneath there, and then they put all the ornaments in the chicken wire. It's gorgeous. They did a great job. I'm trying not to be too cold to care. I'm pretty cold though. Got to tell you. Wow, look at this house. It does kind of look like candy. Gingerbread.
Very pretty.
Very pretty. I saw it when we were heading out earlier, but I didn't fully get to appreciate it. We've got Merry Christmas, but it's gingerbread door panels on the windows. And some candies here at the driveway. Since Don did the preheat, it turned on the Christmas lights. Jules is now festive. Well, it's neat when it does that. You can see the Santa hats on the seat, on the headrests. So we're headed to pick up Johnny now. It's 6:40 p.m. We did 7 of the 10 houses. Even if we had time to walk to one more house before 7, I was too cold. Don did offer to carry my jacket earlier, and I wouldn't let him, so it's all on me. But I mean, we'd seen enough. We were ready. We had a good time. We were out on the ground, at least 5 hours, so it was good. And we were just commenting how great it is when FSD knows where we're going, even though we don't. There's a road back. We've been here before, but there was a road back there that we hadn't been on. I guess technically this is part of the warehouse district.
Yeah, part of it has happened is they've remarked the road, and I remember it being 4-lane like this, but they remarked it to 2-lane with a bike lane on each side. So they've repainted it.
Not here, but back there just a ways.
And it looked totally different, and of course it was at night.
Yeah.
So it just looked and felt totally different than what I was used to.
So to sum that up, the car is keeping us from missing turns that we're not familiar with, especially in the dark. So Jules is cutting us back across town to Pullen Park because we were on the northeast side and we needed to go on the southwest side. And I have to say, Jules is doing a really good job. FSD tonight has been doing really good. We've got Johnny, and like I said, I wanted to drive by Pullen Park. We couldn't get tickets to go in and see their Christmas show lights display, but we can drive by and still see the lake from Western Boulevard. The WRAL tower ought to be lit up. We've seen a lot of Christmas lights coming through town that have been enjoyable. Here's Pullen Park. You can't get into the parking lot, which we weren't really trying to do. It says event sold out. So if you don't have a ticket to the event, you can't get in. Look at the size of that one snowman up there. Wow. Wow, look at the lake. Look at that. That's so beautiful. I guess, you know, if you've had a play to park, you can walk on that sidewalk there. That's not technically inside the park property. Wow. That was even more than I thought it might be. There's the WRAL tower, which they've taken to having lights on it all year long to indicate the weather, whether it's clear or rainy or whatever, but at Christmas time it's just multicolor and really pretty. Yeah, the fountain in front of the building and everything is decorated like you would expect it to be, Donnie.
Right.
Normally I would look for Mike's Model 3 in the parking lot, but he's cruising. He's put up some posts on Facebook that he's on a cruise for the holidays, so he would not be in the parking lot tonight. He used to be able, I think, to drive up closer to the fountain, but they changed this circle a little bit. Very nicely done. So, WRAL Azalea Gardens. Very nicely done. And there's the tower.